So I've had a few people asking me how I make my bread, and I find it so hard to explain in writing, so I'm making a video. Yeah, excuse my awkwardness in front of the camera because this is very strange to me. But yeah, I hope this helps. The first thing that I do is just mix up the flour and water and leave it for about 45 minutes to even like 2 hours if you needed to. It just helps the dough settle and form better. So we'll do about 300 grams of the white flour. I use this one, Wallabies Baker's flour. It's amazing. And then I'm gonna do 200 of spelt flour, my favorite. But you can use whatever flours you want. I find using the white flour as well as a wholemeal makes it so much easier to work with. But absolutely you can use just a wholemeal flour. Just the same. And I just mix them together a bit. And I put, yeah, Papa, about 350 grams of water. And then give her a mix. You want it all mixed together so there's no dry flour at all. Sometimes you can add a little bit more water if it's not mixing all together properly, or if it's too wet, which it does look quite wet, you can put a bit more flour in, but you won't with these quantities, you won't need more flour. If anything, you'll need more water. Yeah, I will add more water, just a touch. Mix it together. You want to really make sure there's no dry patches because they'll just like clump together into a hard ball and you won't be able to get it out. Now it feels pretty wet, but that's okay because it'll all soak in and soak together as you leave it. But yeah, it should look like that. And then I just cover it with, I use shower caps. It's easy, you can use it over and over and over again. But you can use whatever. I don't really like using cling wrap. It's just a waste. So, do that. So. Just leave it for like minimum 30 minutes, but I'd normally go 45, an hour, even like 2 hours. Okay, so it's been about an hour since I mixed it up, and if you can see, you can sort of wet your hands a bit, and you can see, you can just like pull it up like that. It's really like stretchy. And that's what you want. So at this stage I go ahead and add the salt. So I've got 9 grams of salt. Sprinkle that on top. And then I add 75 grams of starter. Now My starter this morning is not as bubbly as I would like it. You can see the rubber band is where it starts. It's risen, it's doubled, so that's okay. Normally I would feed it in the morning and then use it when it's like at its peak. It's exploding out the top. But this will work just fine. So I put 75 grams in that. Or thereabouts. Oh, Papa, out of there, please. It's me. No. Just shut up, okay? Okay. Yeah, sorry. Just chuck that straight into the bowl. I mix these two up pretty well, and once I've sort of mixed those in, I add my seeds if I'm doing seeded, or I'll add like my roasted pumpkin or something if I'm using that. But at the moment I like to use pepitas and flax seeds, but I just use whatever I have in the cupboard. Don't use chia seeds because they absorb way too much water, and it just will not work. So wet your hands before you do this, otherwise it just gets stuck all over you. And I just mix it together as good as possible. You can see how stretchy it is now. It's so awesome. Just mix it in a bit, and then I add my seeds. Lots of seeds. I just put the pumpkin seeds in whole. Very delicious. And I'll just wet again. With that, at this stage I like to transfer it into like a big dish. I'll show you which one I use. I just use this big glass Pyrex dish. It just makes it easier to fold. So you just dump it in there, and I'll leave that for half an hour. And yeah, again I use my chow cat. Is that right, sweetie? Over it, like so. Okay. Alright, it's been half an hour, and it's ready for its first fold. So wet your hands when you do this, otherwise it will stick to you and it will not work. So just nice. And if you can see properly, you just scoop under the sides and pull up the middle. So sometimes it'll take 2 goes to get it to come up properly, that's fine. And then to spin it around and do the other side. You can see that one needs 2. It's a bit stuck because of the seeds, but that's alright. And then I spin it and do the other side. You can even just like pull it under itself like that. And again. And that's it. Pop it back on and leave it for another half an hour. And I'm not going to film every time I do this. I just do that about 6 times. Depending on like how wet your dough is. You might need an extra one, or if it's not, you could get away with 5. But just stick with 6 to start with. Once you start to like get the feel of what your dough needs, then you can just do whatever you think is right. Okay, so it's been half an hour since my last fold. I think I only did 5, but my doughs look pretty good, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shape them. So I just use a little dusting of flour on the bench. And a little bit on the hands. Yeah, Papa. And go ahead and just tip it onto the bench. Like so. And then if you can sort of see, I might do it this way so you can see, I just fold it over like in half sort of. Fold these sides up. And then the back all the way over. And you can sort of roll it from there again, and if you just pull it towards yourself, and then once this way as well, and that should make it really nice and tight. So you've got a tight little ball, that's what you want. And then I put it in this proving basket. You can get different shapes and sizes. I just use a round one because that's what I bought, so that's what works for me. I like to line it with a tea towel because it's easier to get out. So I just do that and dust it with a bit of flour. And when you put it in here, just be careful and put it top side down. So you want the top of your dough down, so when you flip it out into your pot in the morning, it's up the right way. So you just carefully flip it. And that's it. I just cover it over and I'll put that in the fridge overnight and I'll cook it first thing in the morning. You can leave it for 12-15 hours in the fridge. Do not leave it out of the fridge because it will overprove and it'll just be ruined. So let's put that in the fridge. There's another one I've been working on as well, which I'll put into the bread loaf tin. It's just a little bit different. I'm going to tip it out. This one's a little bit more wet. So the best advice I can give when doing it is just be confident and quick, otherwise it will just stick to you. So over, 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 up, and if you've got extra slack you can just plait it over. Which this one I did because this one's a bit wetter than the other one. Yeah, Papa. And then I'll just roll it over again and pull it onto itself again so it's nice and tight at the top. And with this one I'm just making it a bit like longer because I'm going to put it into the loaf tin. which I'm gonna cook it straight in there. So with that, I'll put the fold side down because I'm not flipping it out anywhere, it's just staying in here. So you wanna quickly put it in there and like that, and I'll just cover that with a tea towel and be ready to bake in the morning. This big pot is what I cook my bread in. It's a big camping oven made from cast iron. So in the morning I'll come and turn the oven on to 250 degrees Celsius, fan forced, and I will preheat this in the oven as well for at least 40 minutes, so it's like super hot. And then I'll put my bread in. When I put it in, I sprinkle semolina flour on the bottom of this, otherwise it will stick. And then I just put a couple of ice cubes around it to create some steam inside of there. The more steam, the more lift you'll get. And you get that beautiful like crust and that beautiful ear on the top. Yeah, so then I cook it for 30 minutes with the lid on, and then another 20 or 15-20 with the lid off but turned down to about 230 degrees. Or until you can see it's like super golden and a little bit of charring on the top there, that's what you want. So yeah, and with the, when I do it in the loaf tin, which is what I'm doing tomorrow as well, in the oven I just put a tray in there, and when I put the bread in there I tip a whole bunch of water into the tray so it makes steam in the oven, and with that one I just cook it for 50 minutes with, yeah, just in there, so it obviously doesn't have a lid. But yeah, that's it, pretty sure. If you have any questions, just ask and I'll do my best to explain it. So happy baking!
Bye.